What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's going on with Jerome Powell's testimony when it's about to start, how this may affect Tesla in the market moving forward, also some very important Chinese sales for Tesla. But before I begin the devil's information, before I talk about what's happening with the share price, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. And the offer ends very, very soon, in just about 3 weeks from now. Anyways, now let's break down what's happening to Tesla. Looking at Tesla, we're actually very flat during this pre-market session, trading sideways between 250 and 253 a share. And we're going to likely see Tesla chop a bit, at least for the time being. However, despite this consolidation, despite some sideways price action for Tesla, there's going to be a big move likely coming to the markets with Jerome Powell's testimony. So I'm going to break this down for everyone just right now. So Barr just started their speech, likely not going to cause anything too crazy. But then we also have Powell giving his testimony at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is going to be very, very important. Later on, we have some bill auctions at 11:30 a.m. and then Bowman giving a speech at 1:30. The most important thing, once again, is Jerome Powell's testimony. Now, what is so different about this from a typical speech? Just as a reminder, okay, Jerome Powell is going to be appearing in front of a bunch of lawmakers, which include congressional members, not to mention other committee members, for Tuesday and Wednesday. And he's going to be facing a lot of questions about monetary policy and banking regulations. Now, what's important about this is that Jerome Powell is not just sitting at a podium and giving a speech. He's not just going to be giving us a speech that he's reading off a piece of paper. He has to actually answer a lot of questions. So if he's asked some questions about a recession, if he's asked questions about what's happening with the economy, inflation, this will have a big effect on the overall stock market. It's going to have a big effect on the way sentiment is moving forward. So we'll see what Jerome Powell ends up saying. So that's going to be very important. If this guy is very, very hawkish, or if he says things that the market doesn't really like to hear about a recession or anything like that, it could cause the market to get a big rug pull. So make sure you're always open-minded to that. And if he is more dovish, if he says something about how the Fed's making a lot of progress when it comes to bringing inflation down or anything like that, this could cause the market to push. This could help Tesla start pushing up higher as well. Maybe not to the same extent as that of like SPY or other tickers out there, but I still think that's very, very possible, and it is something that is worth noting. Now, when it comes to other factors, I just want to mention that when it comes to earnings, earnings become more serious towards the end of the week. Don't forget about JP Morgan Chase and the others on Friday. For today, we have very minor ones. These right over here, nothing too crazy. We have like Helen of Troy. Things will become more serious very soon, and earnings season will kick off. As far as Tesla goes, I didn't see any like really, really crazy headlines that came out today. But I did see this news about the Chinese sales. So you guys can see right over here when it comes to the overall share of Chinese NEVs. Right now, the market share for the month of June is showing that Tesla came in through with a 6.9% share, whereas BYD was on top. So that's not really a surprise. There's a lot of competition there. As you guys can see, Tesla's actually very close to all of the counterparts right here. Only BYD tends to be at the top. But Tesla's still one of the top sellers in China, if anything. So that's something else that's worth noting. Moving forward, as far as Tesla's sales go, we actually saw Tesla sell about 59,000 for the month of June. That's down about 20.1% year over year. However, it's not necessarily the end of the world because of the fact that Tesla offsets that little decrease in sales relative to other places, because of the fact that we saw nice increases in the US and the other countries. But just know that BYD, they're primarily selling cars in China, whereas Tesla's they're selling their cars in the European countries, not to mention the US. The US is also a massive market, so they all have their ups and downs. We can't just simply praise BYD and kind of like criticize Tesla. Each of these companies has their own positive and negative outcomes. But just notes that in China specifically, BYD has the bigger market share. They are a lot bigger over there. Tesla's still one of the most competitive automakers over there, but that's something else that's worth noting. Anyways, going back to the share price, I'm not really too worried about those sales data or anything else like that. If Tesla could break past 253, I'll be looking for this imbalance to fill towards 256. And if we get a big rug pull with Powell, watch 250. If we fail to hold that, we're coming all the way back down to about 248 and then 245. So are we about to see a rug pull all the way down to about 245? Or are we about to be pushing all the way up to about 256? Honestly, guys, I'm in the middle with this because we are shuffling between our key EMAs on the 30 minutes time frame. So I'm going to wait and see. It really depends on what Jerome Powell says. Once his speech starts at 10 a.m., there's no telling what's going to happen. So there's going to be some interesting volatility coming. So we'll have to just wait and see. But nonetheless, regardless of where Tesla goes, I'm still very, very bullish on Tesla overall. I'm still a very, very big bull. I'm very, very confident Tesla's going to be fine. So I just want to call that out. For SPY, on the other hand, SPY pushed all the way up towards this resistance, went all the way up to about 556.6, trying to push a little bit higher. This is going to be a very, very minor resistance, but it's nothing too serious. We have stronger resistance up above. Our support is the previous resistance, which is now supported 556. That's also our 20 EMA. If we lose 556, watch 555, 554.5, and then 553.8. Those are going to be three support levels. And if that breaks, we're coming all the way down to 552, way down here. If we were to break through 556.6, I'll be looking at 557.5, and eventually we'll be pushing all the way up to 559. So what is SPY doing? We're kind of, we are technically green in the after hours. We are kind of dipping a little bit going into this pre-market session too. I think we're going to kind of dip a bit upon open, so look for a little dip back down to like 556, maybe a little bit lower, then then another push back up and some consolidation in this 556 area is the most likely possibility. So a little dip and then some consolidation is most likely going to come. And it doesn't really matter. We will see what Jerome Powell says. If he pumps this up, we're going all the way up towards 557.5 or higher. If he gives us the rug pull, we're coming back down to 555. I'll have to wait and see. But look for a little dip and a bounce with some consolidation just to start us off, and we'll see what Jerome Powell causes. Nvidia, technically speaking, is looking more bullish. We did call out 130 yesterday, and that's where we are right now. If Jerome Powell causes a pump, we're easily going to be flying back up towards these new highs. So we could be breaking out towards like 134 plus or even higher levels like that. And if Jerome Powell gives us the rug pull, we're coming back down to about 125. I think that there's a good, amount of potential in this chart. It's going to likely try to push higher towards 131.5. I do see that as a stronger possibility as the chart's making higher highs and higher lows. It does favor upside, but just to be safe, we'll see what Jerome Powell causes. For Bitcoin is trying to uptrend right over here. We're kind of choppy right here. If we break through 58,000, we're going to push higher. I did call out 58,000 yesterday. That's where we're trying to go to. So we'll see if Bitcoin can try to break past that resistance. If we break 58,000, we're going to be pushing all the way up to 60,000. If we reject here, we're going to be dipping back down towards 56,000. So I see potential in Bitcoin. It could start pushing a lot higher from here, but we'll just have to give this some time just to be safe. And we'll see how this is impacted by other factors. For others out there like the QQQ is also trying to uptrend right here. We're actually technically at all-time highs right now, very close to them. We're trying to hold our 20 EMA. This is going to be around 498. If this fails us, I'll be looking at 497, which is our 50 EMA, 495, and then 494. Losing 494 would turn us a lot more bearish. Just keep that support in mind. And if we keep pushing, I'll be looking for 500 as resistance. My gut does tell me this is going to actually try to push a little higher for the 500s. If that breaks, once again, guys, we can continue to soar to about 501 and 502. I think there is potential in the QQQ to break 500, so we'll have to see if we hold our 20 EMA and continue from there. For Aapl's uptrending right now, trying to break out. I'm going to be looking at 228.5. That breaks, 230 is coming next. If we lose 226.74, we're going to be dipping down to 225. This chart looks more bullish, favors upside for 230 as of right now. Now, let me just go over a few more real quick, guys, just to kind of make this video quick. I'm just doing a pre-market video, so I'm not going to be as meticulous. We're retesting previous resistance right here on the QQQ. If we reject off this, there's going to be a move back down towards 218. If we hold 222, look for a rebound for 226. So watch those levels on the QQQ, on Coinbase, excuse me. We are looking a little bit weaker here, so we'll have to see if we can try to hold. As long as we're below this trend line, we do favor coming back down, but if we break back above this, we turn back to bullish. So wait and see. As of right now, it's kind of rejecting, but has a risk of downside. For now, we'll see if Jerome Powell contributes to that as well. For Amazon, if we break past 200, look for 202. If we reject off this trend line, we'll be dipping back down. So I'll be watching to see how well do we hold above 200. Amazon's going to have a big test coming. We'll see if we hold that or not. Meta, it actually came down a bit yesterday. Now it's trying to rebound just a little bit, forming a little cup right here. If we try to push back up, I'll be looking for a retest of about 236. If that breaks, 240 becomes on the table. If we end up losing support at 527, we're going to be dipping all the way down towards basically this 520 area. So this is favoring upside for 540. Looks like it wants to be pushing up to at least 535 and 540. So I'm seeing some potential in Meta. We'll see if this continues or not. Microsoft is kind of dipping just a bit. Make sure you watch support at 466. If that fails us, we're going to be dipping all the way down to 464. If we end up breaking through 468, we'll be pushing all the way up to about 470. We're kind of stuck in the middle right here on Microsoft. But I do see risk of this dipping a little bit higher, lower before it tries to rebound. So watch for that on Microsoft real carefully. For Google has a nice accumulation structure. If we continue to push higher, I'll be looking for basically 192 to be retested. If we lose 190, we'll be dipping all the way down towards 189. But this favors a little bit of a push to 192. That's looking more probable from a technical standpoint. We'll see if Jerome Powell causes that or not, or if he helps in any way, shape, or form. Anyways, with that being said, Tesla is range bound right now during the pre-markets. I think that there's going to be a risk of this once again, just kind of remaining in this range for the time being. Could be looking for a little pop and then a drop back down and some consolidation, at least for the time being. But there's going to be a big move fueled by Jerome Powell, at least for these markets. So we will see what the guy ends up saying. If you don't want to trade through Jerome Powell's testimony, you don't have to. But if you want to, just be very, very patient and be careful because there's going to be a lot of manipulation out there. So get ready for his testimony at 10 o'clock a.m. and we'll see what Jerome Powell ends up saying in response to all the questions. With that being said, thank you all for listening. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Jerome Powell's speech starts very, very shortly. So get ready, do what you have to do, and I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a great day, and peace out.